Alright, so if you watched my last episode on the tabs, you'll know what each individual tab does. Now I'm going to go into detail of the View tab, because this is the most important tab for programming in Roblox Studio. Uh, and I'll be going over each individual object in this tab. So the Explore tab here, you see when I click on it, it opens up a new tab. Uh, this tab can be dragged around. I could put it at the bottom if I wanted, I could put it at the top. But I like to keep it on the side because it's organized and it looks better, if you know what I mean. Alright, so essentially what the Explorer tab does is you can see all the stuff that's in your game. So if I want to see workspace, I could click on workspace, right, and see the base plate. This is the base plate. I can click on that, I could delete it, and it's gone now. Now if I want to undo something, I could press Control Z to undo that. That's just something you guys should know for future episodes. Now you could do camera stuff, uh, and 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 look at pretty much anything you have in your game. Now you may be asking, well, how do I change the brick color? Well, that's what the Properties tab is for. If you click on Properties, it's another draggable menu. When you click on it, it opens up, and you can put whatever you want. I like to keep it over here because it looks nice and neat. You can put it wherever you want. It doesn't really matter. Whatever works for you. Alright, whatever works for you. So, we see this is gray, right? Well, properties essentially shows you where the position of the object is. Like if I change this, it'll move up. I could add a velocity, I can make it anchored, unanchored, can collide, uh, the shape of it, the size, I'll shrink it, the shape, I can make it a cylinder, and other things like that. Now, or I could change the brick color to any color with this appearance tab right here. I'll be going into more detail of how to use this with scripting in my beginner scripting tutorials, but right now I'm just showing you what each tab does. Now the Game Explorer, this is useful if you have multiple games in your place or you have meshes, packages, images, or developer products. I will be getting into those in the future scripting tutorials, but all you need to know right now is that developer products are how you make Robux, badges are what you get when you join certain games on Roblox. Meshes are like parts that you import from Blender or other places. Packages are very useful for transferring data between games, and images are just the images you imported from your computer. Now the Places tab, this has the place you're currently in, as you can see, or I can add another one by right-clicking on it and press Add Place. And then I can also open up the game settings. Now, there is a Tutorials tab that doesn't have very much information. I wouldn't recommend using that. Now Object Browse. I use this quite a lot actually for scripting. This opens up the Roblox object list, everything in the game that is usable. So for instance, if I wanted to look at teams, I can go to teams and look at all the functions for them, or all the events, or all the property names, right? I'll explain what that means in a future episode, but right now I'm just showing you what each thing does. Now, you can go to anything really in here, it doesn't matter, but this is essentially to help you script, and I will be going over this a lot in my beginner scripting tutorials. This is the output. Now, output is very useful. If you did watch my first scripting tutorial about printing, I mentioned output. I'm going to explain how it works more in detail here. So essentially, what output is, whatever happens in your scripts, like if you put a print in your script, it'll print here. If you have an error, it'll go here. If you do anything that outputs anything, it will go here. Now, if you fire a remote event or a remote function, it does not. You will not see it in output. I will explain what that means in a later episode. But output essentially gets everything you output to using print statements or errors. It all goes here. Now there are two colors for the output tab. There is blue and green. Green is on server, and blue is on client. Because Roblox uses the client and server data model. You can look at that here in the object browse if you want to explore their client and server-sided objects here. If you find data model, where's it at? Data model. As you can see, place ID, this is essentially how Roblox gets its functions and how it works and all that stuff. And then script analysis. This checks if you have any errors in your script. As I don't have a script open, it's 0, 0. It's very useful for just quick debugging and fixing things. Now, command bar is used to run commands. I'll teach you how to use that in my beginner scripting tutorials. But all you need to know is you could print out stuff and it'll show up in output. It'll print test. That's basically what it does. It's good for quick fixes, scripts, or removing a bunch of items quickly. Then you have script performance. This shows you the performance of all your scripts in your game. If you have tons of scripts and you want to see what's hogging memory, it's very useful. This is the performance tab. It shows you how your game is running. The task scheduler. This is good for scheduling tasks or changing tasks if you know how to do it. Call stack, never really used this, but it basically, you could see what the function name is, the line number, and how it works, and it's advanced debugging essentially. That's pretty much all you need to know for the scripting aspect of Roblox Studio. If you have any questions, DM me on Discord or send me a Roblox message as my Roblox messages are open. I will link my Discord in the description. Thanks, see ya.